It can be quite physical, a lot more physical than normal football, to be fair. It can be quite ruthless at times, but it's a good sport to be in and I won't put anybody off. I am quite aggressive, but I do try and win the ball most of the time. If I can take the man, I'll take the man as well.
I enjoy the tackles from people because if they're fouling me, it means they haven't got the ball, and I can also produce something. If I get brought down, if I'm alright to get up and take the free kick, I enjoy taking free kicks and hopefully putting it in the top corner.
I'm my own worst critic. I'll remember every goal I've conceded, but won't remember every save that I've made. And when I was 28, 29, I received a letter from a player who got my address from Birmingham Limb Centre. I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't really want people to see me as a sort of disability first, then a person second. Of course, I was rubbish. I stuck with it, and hopefully I've improved my game over the course of 6 years.
The Great Britain amputee football team are training hard in preparation to live their footballing dream. They're representing their country at the Amputee World Cup in Brazil in November.
On you go. Come on, boys. All in.
For Micky, this is his chance to make his mark on football's grandest stage.
Superstar in the making. I mean, if I can go to Brazil and be a major factor for this team, well, we all have the same belief and we all have the same desire to go out and win there. But we got to show it in our training, in what we're eating and what we're drinking, and we got to do it every week until we get there. If we can go to Brazil, and win it, it gives the English team to say, well, if the amputee level can do it, if they can go and win the World Cup, why can't we?
Gibbo has his own way of looking forward to the trip.
Look forward to dropping a few of them, kicking a few Brazilians, can't beat it, and hopefully winning some.
Does the English team reflect like the English national team's style of football as well?
Well, it's all guts and glory and all the rest of it. We're trying to get away from that, a bit more football and try and use our brains a bit more, those of us that have got them.
When I first started playing football, it was with my leg on, and then when I got involved in this type of football, they said to me, I'm going to have to take my leg off and then play on crutches if I want to play internationally. So I said, right, that's something I want to try and do. I weren't really that good to begin with, and then after a year and a half, 2 years, I'm playing main star role for England. Until you see it really firsthand, you don't really know what it is. You've got to witness it to understand how brilliant it is.
The amputee game is played in teams of 7 and matches are 2 halves of 20 minutes. There are unlimited substitutions in a game and no offside. But if you use a crutch to control the ball...
Shoot!
Why are we watching, boy?
There? Off they go, my friend.
What, he said fucking play real?
Is he the team bruiser?
Yeah. He'll go through you. It does get very rough. I mean, you see some teams, they'll stick out a crutch or they'll deliberately do something, but they know full well what they're doing. That's amputee football. You got to deal with it.
Free kick.
The physical demands of the sport can be a problem for recruiting new players. Many limb centres and physios are reluctant to put people forward once they have a prosthetic limb.
Physically, it's obviously it's a lot more demanding than able-bodied football or when I used to play, when I had 2 legs. The balance issues, the way your body twists as you're kicking the ball, it hits every part of your body. There's no escape from it. To do this, I've got to have lots of physio regularly, and I've got to end the day just basically getting 10 hours on my back, essentially.
Think about the possession there. Confidence from you two. Set up a great move.
The global elite of amputee football is made up from a very different set of teams to the able-bodied game.
A lot of third world countries, we're really the only developed country who are involved. France have got involved recently and they're getting there. The Turks are predominantly military, all the African nations where there have been civil conflicts, and the South American and the Russian nations that are obviously not as pampered as we are. As you know, we've got a great NHS that gives the guys all limbs and that, and great physios and things that encourage people to do things properly, which is fantastic, but it's not conducive to top level sporting performance really.
The British squad faces its own challenge.
The FA have dropped the squad from a full supported senior squad to a miserly 5,000 a year to try and develop a sport which needs full-time commitment, which you know, we certainly can't give, and we're doing the best we can here.
We just want a bit of funding to go over to play for our country. But doing it this way is a lot harder. It's more stress. All we want to do is concentrate on our football, but we've got to concentrate on other things as well.
We're doing fundraising events, other foundations we've applied for, and basically just going cap in hand to people again.
The FA say they want the sport to develop, but cannot back them as a senior squad at this stage, as the sport is not well enough organised on a global level and not played widely enough on a national level. The captain says this is why they need support.
It's massively unreasonable, the criteria they've laid out. You know, it's just outrageous. You can't develop any sport nationally on £5,000.
And the FA's lack of help has only fired up the squad.
We're the only team who have gone that are self-funded. It means more to us because we have to give up more to be there. So that's what's driving us on. We haven't got an easy ride because we're from England. We haven't been sponsored with boots and shin pads and things like that. It's all out of our own money. And that's why it means more to us, because we've had to work for it. We've had to go out there and we've had to beg for the money to get there. So that's why we want to win it, so we can prove that we are good enough to win it and we do deserve the funding.
Shortly after my visit, the team received some devastating news. Brazil has pulled out of hosting the World Cup due to its own funding problems. For the FA, this is vindication of their decision not to back the national team. For the players, it's a huge setback on the road to recognition for their sport. But these players have already won bigger battles than this. Football has changed many of their lives, and now they are determined to reach out to a new generation of amputees.
More amputees should get involved in sports, and hospitals and physios and all the rest of it should try and get them as mobile as possible.
It definitely gives other people like with a disability something to look forward to. I mean, I was speaking to a guy who's only got one leg and he never knew anything about amputee football. I told him about it, and now he's here playing every single week with us, and he was buzzing about it. He said to me, I never knew anything about it, so now he's got something to look forward to. He doesn't have to sit around doing nothing, like feeling sorry for himself. He can get up and do stuff, which is brilliant.